House Calls, a conversation with Dr. John Foster.
Our guest today at the Iowa Falls Historical Society is Dr. John Foster. Good morning, Doctor. Tell us a little about yourself.
I was born in North Carolina in 1826. I was a Quaker who became a Universalist at age 40 as a result of marrying into my wife's faith. I was a restless young man. I went to Indiana. At age 23 I went to the Oregon Territory to pan for gold. I became a territorial legislator there. I had a friendly personality which served me well my entire life.
Why did you become a doctor?
I had compassion and ability. In those days, anyone could become a doctor. Most doctors were badly trained. Some became doctors by only reading books in a doctor's office.
Describe your training.
In 1853, I attended Rush Medical College in Chicago. It consisted of 4 lectures and demonstrations per day. At the end of the 4 months, I was a doctor. I had on-the-job training for the remaining 40 years of my life.
Describe your practice.
Healthcare was in the form of house calls. I covered a large area in the case of emergencies. I traveled on foot, by horseback, and by horse and wagon at all times of the year and in all weather conditions and all temperatures. I could only take medical tools with me that I could carry. There was no hospital in Iowa Falls during my lifetime.
What were the problems you saw?
Medical knowledge and sanitation were bad when I came to Iowa Falls in 1855. Child mortality was high. Nearly all of the large families in Iowa Falls lost children. As many as 1 in 3 died before age 5, regardless of family background. By comparison, this number has fallen to just 2% in 2021.
What were the common injuries of people in Iowa Falls?
Everyone worked, including children. Common injuries were from falls, on-the-job tools, farm machinery, and horses. Horses were very dangerous, but just like cars in modern times, they were necessary. There were also many railroad injuries. Railroads and farms were dangerous places in the United States. People were unfamiliar with the new tools and technologies. There were almost no safety devices of any kind at all. Adults and children were sometimes injured by runaway horse teams. Our know-how about treating severe injuries was improved by the American Civil War experience.
What were some diseases you saw?
Bacterial diseases of unsanitary conditions were common. Cholera, diarrhea, and typhoid. People lived with consumption, tuberculosis, pneumonia, influenza, scarlet fever, measles, mumps and chickenpox. A very bad bacterial disease was diphtheria, which took the life of healthy young people. My sister-in-law, Maestis, died of diphtheria when she was a young woman. We had a smallpox vaccination, which prevented outbreaks and epidemics of smallpox, so smallpox was not a major problem in Iowa Falls. I always had my own pharmacy in Iowa Falls. We did not have antibiotics. Most of the medicines were to promote general good health and to reduce symptoms.
Why were you successful while other doctors failed?
A doctor needed to be a good nurse. I was a caring nurse, which required long nights away from my family. I was unconcerned about money. I took whatever patients could afford to pay. I took payments in money, food, services, even in clean glass bottles.
Tell us about your family.
My wife, Abby, was a daughter of Jason and Sarah Estes, founders of Iowa Falls. My only son, Frank Foster, was a journalist, a photographer, a businessman, and a benefactor of Iowa Falls. Some of my descendants became medical professionals and dentists.
Thank you, Dr. Foster.
It's been a pleasure.